Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Audible.
All right. Thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone. Jeshta and Krishna. All right. So we are waiting for few participants, those who are joining us in between. Since it's a Sunday, so I understand you people must be, in the relaxing mode, right? So I truly, totally understands it. So let's wait for 2, 3 more minutes, and we will begin this session. Hope it's fine with you all. Yes, no, maybe. All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the new session, and this is interview part two. So, whoever has joined us, maybe today they were not there in the yesterday's class. So, this class was all about interview skills. So, is there anyone who has joined today and was not there in the last class, which was yesterday? Is there anyone? So, for all of you, I'm just giving a quick recap of what we did in the last class. In the last class, we did interview skills. We have covered what are the do's and don'ts and what are interviews and how recruiters, they hire people, what are the strategies they follow, what are the techniques they follow to hire a person for the company, right? And how the recruitment happens, how an eligible candidate is acknowledged, sort then filtered, and then take it forward, right? So these were few highlights of yesterday's session. So our interview was divided into three parts, which was before interview, during interview, and after the interview. Now we had covered in the last class till before interview. So what are the parameters and what are the prerequisites of interviews are covered in the last class. So I hope you all remember it. I hope you all remember that. Great, great. So today I am going to take a detailed doubt session, right? If you have any, we will discuss it one by one out here, right? So today let's discuss the furthermore things that how to do it. Interviewer are asking why should we provide this job or give a chance? Yes, it does. Ashwin, they ask you such kind of questions. So they in like today, what we'll be doing is we'll be understanding interviews. Then from the next week onwards, we will have the mock interview session where I have over 90 to 100 questions that recruiters ask you. I'll be discussing them one by one, and what could be the justified answer against that question. I'll answer them, right? So that you all have the idea that what to be. They are asking tricky questions. Yes. See, who will ask you straightforward questions? Have you ever heard of a teacher giving you the same example what she has taught in the this thing? She always changes the number, right? Even if she has taught you a plus b or whatever it is, right? So but what she does is she changes the digit of that particular question, and that comes to your exam, so which might feel similar, but the background is different. Similarly, when you are meeting the recruiters, their intentions of asking the question is same, but the way of asking the question could be different. For example, everybody will tell you that never ever share your weaknesses in front of the recruiter, right? Now you have this mindset, okay, we are not going to share the weaknesses in front of the recruiter. Then she could ask you, okay, tell me five things that you would like to change in you. Now you're like, okay, she's not asking my weaknesses, she's asking my areas of improvements. And you will not list them five, you will list at least seven. Ma'am, five you told me to write, tell you. Two are additional that I would like to give it from my side as a complimentary services, right? Now, because they are also smart enough that you have also come, because to take attend these classes, as all the majority of the colleges they run these programs. So they would also know that yes, you know how to not answer the question weaknesses part, so they ask you from the different way out. That's why it is very very much required that you keep your ears and mind open the time you acknowledge any question, understand why it is being asked, right? So yeah, the questions would be tricky, situation based, as behavioral based, time management, decision making skills. So there are certain questions. I have the list of them. Then we'll discuss them one by one to understand the better format that way, right? So are you all ready for today's session? Yes, no, maybe. So who all are the late, who all are not the morning people out here? Those who just woke up from their beauty sleep to just take the class. How many of you are there? You just realize, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Let me first take the session, then maybe I'll go to have my breakfast or something like that sort. Or you all woke up early in the morning. All right. So, yeah. So let me start with this. Not during the interviews. All right. So now during your interview is do not fiddle with your pen. Now, can anyone tell me that why are we not suggesting you to fiddle with your pen, hair, or maybe any accessory that you are holding? Why is it not required to fiddle with them? Any answers?
Our concentration will be on fiddling the pen, not on the answer what we have.
Very nice. Very nice, Anita. Very nice. Yes, you are absolutely right. So, one thing is that we don't fiddle with the pen, is first, my concentration will be on fiddling the pen. And Ashwin is also absolutely right. It shows that you're nervous. Third thing, it distracts the mind of the recruiter as well. So, there are three major reasons to which we do not promote people. Uh, to fiddle in with any of the accessories that you are having during your sessions, right? Also, it shows that you are underconfident, and probably you want to run out of this situation, and does show your casual behavior as well. So, a big no to fiddling with any of the accessories, whether it's your pen or maybe some other stuffs. Don't look at the clock in the regular basis. Now, what is the reason that you are not required to look at the clock in the duration or in the frequent intervals? The reason is reasons. How many of you would like to answer this question? It shows that we are in rush. Okay. It shows that we are not interested in it. Very good, Ashwin. Thank you, Vishnu. Okay. Yes, the majority of you are right. When you keep on looking at the clock, so that means, see, even if somebody is sitting in front of you and again he checks his time, so that means he's running late and he wants to leave the conversation as soon as possible. Similarly, when you are sitting in the recruitment room with the recruiter and you keep watching the clock again and again, that shows from the body language that first, you are nervous and you want to be out of this conversation. Second, you're not interested. Third, you're under time, maybe you have to rush somewhere else, or you're not interested in this particular event and you want to go out. So these three reasons would strongly support the recruiter for not letting you in the organization. Why? Because he believed that initially you are so much concerned of you're so impatient to be in the conversation, which is a part of your career life, which is giving a kickstart to your career. And if you're not mature enough to understand the that the seriousness of that event, then how will you be able to understand the seriousness that is coming your way in the future, or maybe your responsibilities in the future? So definitely it's a big no from my side during the interviews. Try to maintain the eye contact with the recruiter in if it shouldn't be staring. Now tell me, uh there is always, like I told you, there are two things. One is looking, second is staring, right? And see, whenever you talk to a person, that person tries to see you, that how confident you are and how uh, I would say trustworthy you are. If a person lie, it's a body language theory. If a person is lying, he would never see you into your eyes. He would like to take off his eyes from the eye contact and would like to see it here and there. One. Second, if he is very nervous and don't want to face the situation, then also it would he would or she would like to draw his or her attention from that particular situation. Then staring is when you are very sure that, oh, my ma'am told me that I don't have to put my eyes off, and moreover the recruiter is very very beautiful, so how can I take my eyes off? So my dear friends, these these body languages can put you in a trouble situation. So you have to understand that what is the meaning of eye contact and staring. Eye contact is not more than 10 to 20 seconds, right? and 10 to 20 seconds. And when it becomes more than this, it becomes staring. When you keep looking at a person, it can disturb somebody, it can make somebody uncomfortable. Or maybe it should show, like, whether better you hire me or else be ready to face the consequences of the same, right? So the message shouldn't go like this from your body language or from your staring uh, capacity. So it's a negative body language to stare, right? Ashwin is smiling, he got something really interesting today, right? Great. So I hope you are now wake up from your sleep, Ashwin. Great. All right. So so this was an event, this was a few examples actually to create the interactive classes. So that's the reason I keep giving such kind of examples. All right. Then I'm sure you understand what is staring and and maintaining the eye contact, so which is more suggested. And if you don't make proper eye contact, that means you are not really comfortable sharing all this information, or probably your information that you're sharing is not accurate. So try to maintain that eye contact and try to change it after 5 or 7 seconds. Don't shake your legs on the regular basis. Again, this is a part of body language only, that you are not required to shake the legs again and again. That shows that you are ready to go, or second, you are not confident. Try to maintain a decent smile on the face. Now this is very very important. Now you have to again, here there is a glitch, that like I told you, there is a difference between staring and looking. There is also a difference between, there is a slight difference in smiling and laughing, right? Even if your recruiter is out of his laugh, he's laughing out his gut, but you are to maintain the protocol and the decency of the interview. Perfect smile, Ashwin, you can do that, right? Even he's laughing like loud, but you have to maintain the decorum of the interview. You don't have to behave the same in, recruiter is doing. He might be doing it purposely to understand that how maturely you behave in the professional events, right? Are you maintaining that decency or not? So he would never appreciate if you start behaving the same way out and becoming over friendly with the recruiter, maybe giving the high five, or be like, then rolling out the sleeves. Okay, bro, tell me now, what's up? When are you going to hire me out, right? So no, not required. Okay. Then smile. So smiling is like, giving a smile, a short smile in between when you are talking to him. That shows the positive nature of yours. But even if he is asking you something which is very serious, or maybe some critical questions, and you keep on smiling, and for any other reasons, with no reason even, you are smiling. So I'm sure what will he understand about your personality, so I don't have to explain it. But yeah, so you need to be very very much cautious that uh, how much to smile and when to smile, right? So yeah, then next comes is, try to offer a firm handshake, right? So when I say offer a firm handshake, that means you go, shake hand, give a smile, and that's it. Or it could be one, two, that's it. It shouldn't be like you go to a gym and some lady who is maybe a female recruiter, she wanted to shake hands, and you tend to break her bones, right? That is not required. Because you go to the gym, that doesn't mean you will give a warm handshake, right? So it should be a decent one, right? A firm one and a warm one. Max three. Yes, absolutely correct, Ashwin. Right? So that is very much required. Now, listen to be sure you understand your interviewer's name and the correct pronunciation. Now, some people are very, very much finicky about their names and their position and designation. So, as the interviewee, it is your responsibility that you understand and know the name of the recruiter who is taking you through, so that you don't pronounce it wrong. You can ask twice or thrice the right pronunciation, but then don't spell it out wrong. Somebody could be very touchy and maybe he would not like if you try to misspell his name. Also, during your interviews, you are not allowed to share any of your personal problems unless it is being asked. This is one thing that I would like to mention very, very seriously. Some students, they tend to share a lot of information which is not even required just to gain the sympathy or the the attention of the recruiter. But then, trust me on this, recruiters are like robots, those who are sitting out there, because they have been input with all the informations which is required. So they are from their head going with the checklist. They would not bother how it is going through, right? So they are just evaluating you and matching you and mapping your skills against the position, nothing else. So don't waste your time telling or explaining your personal problems with them, because this is not their cup of tea. Then after the interview, so once you leave the conversation and the interview process, always thank the recruiter for for sparing his time for interviewing you. Obviously there is a person who has invested some 10 to 15 or 20 or 30 or probably 1 hour to understand or to have a conversation with you. So definitely in that particular 1 hour you must have learned something, right? If you couldn't answer the question, definitely you understood something, right? You have taken something. Maybe you understood from your stressful situation that what could have been the best possible action for that particular moment. So definitely, there is a learning process which has happened. So somebody has taken out special time from his busy um, from busy schedule. So you should always thank your recruiter after you interview you. Sometimes you can take the proper feedback from your interview. For example, let's say when you're leaving the conversation, you can ask your interviewer, sir, if you don't mind, can I ask you, like, where are the areas of improvements, from my side, where I can work upon to be a better person? Could you please, sir, give me some suggestions, some feedbacks? So definitely he would like to give you that, please prepare your basic part in this, or maybe you can be more energetic, more communicative, or maybe more effective, assertive, or maybe so as many as uh, uh, things they want to convey. Now adjectives they want to add on. Now interview communication skills: pronounce the interviewer's name correctly, avoid interrupting the interviewer, try not to use any jargons. Now what happens is, here is sometimes what happens, uh, the moment the recruiter starts asking the questions, so we become so emotional. Oh, this is a bingo. The night, this is the answer which I know. And you straight away jump into the conversation and start answering the, that particular question, which recruiters might not like it. Because see, they don't like people to interrupt them and to, come in between. So they will be like, this person creates a lot of stuffs and he's not even understanding what am I going to ask them, right? So that's the reason. Don't interrupt him in between. Just listen to the question first, understand why it is being asked, and then probably answer. So answer the question not to answer them, but answer the question just to justify the statement that has come from the recruiter. Try not to use any jargons. Now this is very, very much similar. Maybe as a youth, as a beginners, you must have lot of jargons that you people have created for yourself, but it's not mandatory that the other people would also know the same, right? So that's the reason I always suggest that do not use any jargons which you think the recruiter might not know. Correct? Getting my point? Any questions so far? Any question? How many interviewers are there? That depends. Minimum one, maximum two, as for freshers. For freshers, they won't have too many, right? Could be one technical person, then maybe you go to the next round, could be one HR recruiter. That's all, right? So that's how it starts. Anything else? Any other question till now? Okay, that's what I'm coming upon. Okay, now listen to every question carefully. I'm sure you understood. Let the interviewer finish the question before you ask answering. That is what I told you. Keep all the answers positive. Yes, that's correct. Don't crib or complain about your teacher, mentors, and organization. Now, this is very important. Now, somebody would like to tell me what am I trying to say this? Don't crib about your teachers, mentors, organizations, or maybe your school, college. Why we don't have to crib about it? Can somebody please tell me?
If we give any negative feedback about them, teachers, mentors, and last organization, they may think that if we leave the present company again, we may give some bad comments about the company what we are recruiting.
Very good. Very, very, very well said. Very nice. That's not a good gesture. Absolutely. Very nice. One more thing. How a bad organization can have the good candidates. How a bad college can have good students, because college is meant, or it's complete with students. How is it called it as college? It means students and teachers, or the faculty members, or the professors. If the professor if the college is not good, then how can they have the best students around? I am sure the bricks, the walls, the roofs, the classrooms, the ACs, or the amenities doesn't create the good college. The college is good because they give the best students. If the students are not best, then how is that called a good college? Right? Also, it reflects that you pass on, or you play blame games. You want to keep the blame of not for of your failure to other person, because you couldn't study well. You did not put in your efforts to study that particular topic, and you gave the all responsibility to the professors and faculty of not teaching you well. Will never justify your position in that company, right? And they will think that today you're cribbing about your failure, and you're giving and you're holding the college responsible. So definitely, if tomorrow you leave the organization, so it's a word of mouth, you will start spreading the negativity all across the globe, all across the places you will go. So definitely it's a wrong one, right? So even if you don't answer any question, so definitely you can tell them ki, sir, whenever I'm going to meet you next, I'll have the question answer for the same. But never say my teacher did not teach me, they were not educated enough, my mentors were really not supportive, organization was wrong, the college never supported us, because of XYZ reason. But you cannot ignore the fact that you did not prepare well, because there are many students, those who are working at a good place, however they have not got these kind of amenities, from their college or from their any respective members. Smile and look like you are enjoying the conversation. Now this is very interesting. If a person is enjoying the conversation with you, definitely as a human you would like to give him the opportunity to be a part of your organization. So yes, whenever you are answering the question and if you are enjoying it, so yes, you can keep a good smile and then you can enjoy the conversation with the recruiter. Now this is the dressing for interviews, right? Sorry. Now, what to wear? Many of you would be confused, and ma'am, what to wear? right? And there was a the ideal situation that everybody asks you, okay, go with the black pants and white shirts. So yeah, formals, and till now we are following that trend of black pants and white shirts. But I never suggest, right, I never suggest people to, right, to go and wear the black pants and white trouser, because then there is no difference between you and the people, those who are serving in the restaurants, right? So there has to be a different one. So what you can do is you can have a nice trousers, could be grays, could be blacks, right? Or nowadays many neutral colors pants you will get it in the market, right? With good shirts, which is in solid, right? You can have solid colors, you can have blues, you can have teals, you can have gray, you can have black, right? Or maybe any good appealing colors that really appeals the eyes, so you can have them, right? Yes, light colors. So obviously I would not suggest you to go with the jazzy colors, magenta or maybe purples, or maybe any color that really hits the eyes or the eyeball of the recruiter. No. Or maybe some fancy shirts which you prefer to wear in the weddings. No. Right, so this is the perfect one. Do wear your bells, right? If it is required, if you're going with the ties, it should be till your navel. It should not hang till out of your navel button, right? Yes, cottons are always suggested, linen, cotton, right? And you can have shirts till your wrist. And if it is still wrist, you can have, if you're really feeling hot, you can fold it to just one lap, not more than this. Correct. If you're wearing ties, be then let it be the matching one, and that not the same tie which you wear in your weddings. No, should be the professional ones. And yes, one watch. Nail should be trimmed off. It should not be like, even boys, they have long nail, and then you have it all dirt inside. That doesn't really look cool. People might get really irritated with the personality. Nice shoes, leather shoes. No, nowadays like those flying shoes of neon green, blues, some jazzy colors on them because you feel comfortable. No, right? It should be the sorted one. It should be the decent one, right? Leatherite shoes with socks, plain socks, maybe white color, black color, blue color, whichever goes best. For girls, you can have a variety of clothes to go with your interview process. There is no harm in going in nice salwars or nice kurtas that you can wear for your interview process, right? It should be well ironed, right? And it's all about comfort. It's not like if your body doesn't allow you to go with the pants and shirts, then don't do that. That I can only look professional if I go with a western outlook or dress sense. No, it won't. It's all about comfort that you can avail at that particular moment, because we don't want to get distracted with any of the factors, right? If I'm not comfortable in the clothes, I would never be able to justify that I'm really comfortable, and I would never be very very comfortable in the conversation. So yes, you can have nice kurtas, nice salwars. You can have trousers if you're comfortable, then shirts, some good colors. And then yes, if you like to have long nails, then it should be all properly trimmed off and well polished. When it comes with the fragrance should be very very mild. It shouldn't be like I must smell good, ma'am told me to smell good, so why not to to use all kind of fragrances I have in one go, and let me be the one who is identified there. So the moment you open the door, the recruiter, he starts feeling the headache and wants to run out of that place. So the mild one is good. So that really is effective. And yes, your hair should be proper. Even this is for both girls and boys, right? If you are a male, you should have well trimmed hair, right, and nicely done, right? And shouldn't have a lot of those jazzy spikes and maybe some funky hairstyles with some reds and blues. No, Even for girls, if you are going to, you know, to have to so your hair should be properly done. Even if you want to keep them open, you can, but those open hair should also have a, you know, proper way of, because you're not putting your fingers again and again in your hair to fix it up, right? And the shoes and belts remains in same color. See, I'm sure the belts that you wear is always in black in color and browns in color, right? I'm sure you won't buy blues and white belts. And then shoes also same brown and black, so definitely it will go with your attires. Now, when you offer a firm shake to the recruiter, you should make the eye contact with them and have the friendly expressions, so when you have greeted the interviewer. Now, listen to be sure you understand your interviewer's name and correct pronunciation, right? Which is, I have already told you. Now, when your recruiter gives you your first and last name, address your interview by Mr., Mrs., or Doctor at the last until the invitees are due for otherwise. Maintain good eye contact. I have already told you. Sit still in your seat. Avoid fiddling or slouching, right? Maybe if they gave you a very nice comfy chair, right? So you thought, oh my God, I traveled 1.5 hours, a long journey in maybe so now what if I enjoy this particular couch or that comfy chair? So you feel like home and you slouch on that chair. You feel like, okay, let me sleep for a while and then probably will start the interview process. No, right? So sit straight, your back should be straight, and you should look into the eyes of the recruiter. No here and there will be allowed. Now, respond to the questions, back up your statement about yourself with specific examples whenever possible. This I've discussed. Ask for clarification. Now this is very important. Now let's say there could be one question that can he ask you, but you think, you are not understanding the question, rather giving the wrong answer. It is always suggested that you can ask the clarification of the question. Sir, do you want to ask this, sir? Is that what you want to know? Can I clarify? So he'll give you the best idea, or he can repeat it once again. So you can, sir, I need your pardon, or you could paraphrase the statement, right? Then be through in your responses while being concise in your wording, right? Be honest to be yourself, your best professional self. Dishonesty gets discovered and it's ground for withdrawing job offer, for firing. You want a good match between yourself and your employer. If you get ready, and if you get hired by acting like someone other than yourself, you and your employer will not be happy. So what happens is, when you start talking about you, your skills, don't over exaggerate or never share any false statement, information, data, right? So, just a second, 2 minutes, please. So, I would like to, I think I have shared it earlier also. Like, I was a part, I went for one of the interview processes in Chandigarh for IBM thing. So, one of my cousins, she was interviewed out there. So there was a next day of that interview process, wherein they asked for some documents to get verified, right? So they have a proper background verification team who cross check the information that you have shared on the resume, and if tends to be wrong, they not only blacklist you but also make sure that you are not getting hired, right, in other relevant companies also. So it is always, it's not, I'm not scaring you, but I'm giving you a reality check, that even though you have to be honest about it, you should, but then never pass any false statement, false information, or false data, because this is very very serious and it can cost you to not only your job but your career. Treat the interviewer seriously and ask through you're truly interested in the employer and opportunity presented. So when you're sitting in the interview process, then show all your seriousness. Don't show him that you're just sitting because your college forced you to sit in this company, right? Or maybe somebody has forced you to be in the company. Either don't go. If you're going, then definitely justify that particular event. Correct? Any questions or doubt so far? Any questions? No question means nobody is here. Are you all here?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Now, these are few caveats that you need to check. Being too friendly. Now, because I told you to be confident and to be good with the recruiter, you start behaving over friendly with them. We do should not. It's a big no. Then, not listening to the conversation or the questions carefully. Please don't do that. Or maybe then you're being over smart, overconfident, or making any derogatory remarks about the previous employees, which is not required if you are an experienced person. Slouching, mumbling, and maybe speaking slowly will also not work. And knowing nothing about the company you are talking is also one of the factors that can put you in the uh, different position, right? Then I would like to give you, can you see this body language? Yes, you can, Mahesh, you can have a good handshake with the interviewer if he moves his hand first, right? Because nowadays, maybe due to pandemic, people restrict themselves to shake hand with every person, right? Or they don't prefer those handshakes nowadays. Maybe a warm welcome just from the body language, or maybe giving a good smile, and then you can be asked to sit, right? So you need to understand the sincerity of that moment. So now, what kind of body language you can see in this particular image? If you tend to see a person like this, what is your first reaction by seeing a person in this particular body language? Okay. Mahesh, it's not unconfidence, it's not confident or underconfidence. All right. So yes, most of you are right. It shows that he is very nervous. He wants to, although he has dressed up so well, but for me, this is too loud to wear for your interview process. But still, I can accept it. But then I cannot accept the way he is sitting. It's sitting like one. This is also one of the aggressive body language. See his eyes, the kind of eye contact this person is trying to make. That is also showing the aggressive his nature, right? His aggressive nature, that is not acceptable. Correct. All right, so let's move next. Firm handshake happened. Slouching. Now, after this, I would like to ask discuss the questions, right? So I am giving you 5 minutes to read these questions and see what are the possible answers that you would like to give them, right? Then probably we will try to answer them one by one, right? We will discuss them. So 5 minutes to you understand the questions. Okay. Yes, you will get the recording of the session. It's available on YouTube, I guess. All right, students, now tell me, let's discuss these questions. Now, first question is, let me tell me something about you, introduce yourself, or walk me through your resume. So this is the question that I have already discussed with you, that these kind of questions can asked by the recruiter very first time, and I'm telling you 100% chances would be there that the first question you can listen from them is, okay, hi, please tell me about yourself, okay, please introduce yourself, tell me something which is not mentioned in your resume, tell me something, or maybe walk through me your resume. Now this question you can only answer if you have the proper format of this particular answer, like I have told you yesterday, right? So when he says walk me through your resume, so you will tell, like, so this is what my objective is, this is my education details, now this is my technical details, I have also mentioned about my projects, now please let me talk about my technical areas, or something like that sort. So these are the expected answers that you give while answering the question first one. And to be very honest, this first question steal your attention to 20 to 30% in front of the recruiter, so please be wise enough when you are hiring it, when you are sharing it. Now, why should we hire you? Now, what do you think should be the right answer if somebody asks you why should I hire you, or why you are the right candidate for this profile? Can someone please tell me? Okay. I'm capable of facing the challenges and do the best according to the circumstances. I'm very much enough experienced. No, we have to tell what are the different from others and try to convince them by our technical skills. Yes, Krishna, you are somewhere close to the answer, but Ashwin and Tuhina, both the answers are not relevant for this particular question. Like you said, talk about your strengths and weaknesses. Sorry, why should we hire you? So you should answer this question related to the JD that you have provided them. They have provided. All right. So for example, they have given you one JD, which is job description. So against that job description you have to provide them the justify your answer, that why should we hire you, because every second person is a hardworking, every second person is smart working, right? Then nobody can tell them that, okay ma'am, because I'm the rest, because I'm the best one, I have okay, challenges, facing challenges or something like that sort. But if you can tell me, sir, because your JD says that you need a person with minimum experience of 1 year in Java, and he and she should have the SQL knowledge. So, ma'am, I possess both the things altogether. I have been doing Java for last 9 months. I have made the projects on the same. And if I talk about SQL, I have fair knowledge about SQL, against which I have taken the certification as well. And I know the connectivity, how to do the connectivity between the both. That's the reason I think I am the best fit for this profile. Now he will believe, or she will believe, that whatever you are saying is right. Now you are able to justify the answer here, that why you are the right candidate for this profile. Giving any lame answer, I'm intelligent, I'm hardworking, I'm smart working, I have the capability to change the entire world, I can bring all revolutions in the company, country. So this is all fake, and they would never entertain these kind of questions, right? So this is what is needed. Now, next question. Talk about your strengths and weaknesses. Now, what do you need to discuss if somebody asks you what are your strengths and weaknesses? And I want answers from everybody. Unless you take the participation, how will you understand? Tell me one thing. When tomorrow I will start with the interview process, mock interviews, how will you understand them? Hmm? Tell me. So at least when I'm asking questions, everybody should participate and tell me, no? Okay, tell me. Okay, need to mention our strengths, need not to lie. But what are the strengths that you're going to share? Can't tell about my weaknesses. Okay, okay. I'm able to concentrate only one thing at time on not many things. Okay. Who all are okay? Others? Okay. 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 Hmm. Okay. Now let's understand this thing. Very good. So most of you answered the question, but let us understand how to answer such kind of questions. Now, when somebody asks you what are your strengths and weaknesses, so we as a student has the possibilities of answering questions like, I like, ma'am, I am very much, my strengths are my parents, right? My strengths are my parents, my family is my strength, right? Or these kind of strengths that you mentioned, or maybe my decision making power, my presentation skills, or whatsoever. But he's trying to understand that what are your strengths that you would like to utilize during your career in the company. So there you can mention that as far as my strength is concerned, I am a person who is very much capable of making one program with different codes or different ways, right? To reduce, or I am a expertise of to reduce the complexity of any program. I can be in quick of implementing any personal logics. So there could be so many things you can really talk when you are talking about, when you are writing this particular. thing. So you, when you talk about your strengths, you talk about your technical strengths. So you can tell them after completing it that my strength is to um, my strengths are to maybe, I'm a good team leader, right? Apart from all these technical skills, I'm a team leader. And how can I justify this statement is because while we were going through one project, I was leading that project. Under me we were five, my colleagues, right? So I was directing this project and I helped them to get implemented architecting, bringing the architecture to work upon it and to bring it to the last time executions. So instructing, coordinating with all of them was a task, so I could do it all perfect. And yes, we all can meet the timeline. That's the reason I can, these are my skills, my strengths. Now he can ask you, right? Then what happened is your weaknesses. Now weakness is my parents are my weakness? No. My short temper is my weakness? No. You can tell them, if they ask you what are your weaknesses, first of all, we don't share them. Now if he not ask you the question what is your weakness, rather she can ask you what are the areas of improvements. Then you can tell them, ma'am, because I can't get up early in the morning. I'm a very aggressive person. I am a person of lethargic, I feel so lethargic. Or sometimes, my concentration level doesn't remain more than 20 seconds. So now these all factors are directly impacting my candidature. So anything that is directly impacting my candidature, I will never support those statements. I will never pass those statements. Right. so so that's the reason I tell you, if you have to tell your weaknesses, you need to tell them that something that is not impacting your candidature. You can tell them, I cannot, my weaknesses or my areas of improvements are, I eat a lot of ice creams, right? Which is not really good for my health, right? I'm really working upon them. Or sometimes I can focus on only one thing at a time because I need perfection, but I think I need to be multitasker as well, which certainly I'm improving on. Or ma'am, my weakness or areas of improvement is that, my I was really not very confident, with speaking to the people, but nowadays I'm working on this and I'm really working hard on this and I'm able to do that. So these are my areas of improvement which will never impact my candidature directly. If I say I'm an arrogant person, definitely nobody would like to hire a person who is an arrogant person. I'm a lazy person, nobody will hire a person who is lazy. Correct. So now I think I made my point clear what exactly I want to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can we say that we don't have any weaknesses in interview?
Sorry?
If they ask, do we have any weaknesses? Can we pass a word like, I don't have any weaknesses?
No, we can't say that. Uh, how can we do that? You shouldn't say this, I don't have any weakness, because there is nobody who is perfect, right? So rather what you can do is you can say, ma'am, rather than weaknesses, I will call them as my areas of improvements, because there is always the way of representing your idea thought, right? So rather saying that areas weaknesses, I would rather mention that, ma'am, I have the areas of improvements. And yes, everybody improves with the time, efforts and experience, so am I. So initially I used to feel very nervous when I used to talk to people, but certainly when I have worked upon it and I know that it is the need of the hour, I'm improving on this. Now your answer becomes very logical. It makes sense. It's very very honest, and it shows your positivity that you know that there is a improvement section in your personality. You are working upon them, you are seeing the changes, you are becoming motivated, and you are working on it. So don't you think so it becomes very very much relevant?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope I gave your answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. this fourth question, I would like to ask people out here just to unmute themselves and tell me. Fourth question. I'm giving you 1 minute to reframe this answer. How will you do it? Just 1 minute. Yes. So one by one, tell me the answer for this. Tell me about a challenge or a conflict you have faced at work and how do you dealt with it. Any answer? So this workplace could be your college also, your institute also, any place. Any answers? Okay. Yes, Rashmi, please tell me. Then Ashwin will tell.
Uh, Ma'am, ma'am, hello.
Yeah, please. You're audible.
Um, yes, ma'am. Actually, once I was writing my exam, I was prepared very well, but at that point, after seeing my question paper, I was very much like blocked out, and I was not able to get any answers. So at that point, I asked my invigilator, like, can I go to the restroom nearby so I will come back. So I would just wash my face and had it was a very long 2 minutes walk.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, when I reached again my exam hall, like I was able to recollect all my answers and I put down everything I know before the time was done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good, great. What else? Anybody else would like to answer? Ashwin, you are saying something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am. I think day before yesterday in our college we held intra department function.
Hmm.
So I have participated in a competition,
Hmm.
Code Mania. So I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to solve all the test case to be passed,
Mm-hmm.
but I was facing a trouble to pass two test cases.
Mm-hmm.
Out of five, I have passed three test cases. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for and thinking, what is the error we made it? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and my senior said, you have made all things perfectly, but there is a one thing missing. You have to rearrange it. So after 5 to 10 minutes deep thinking, I found out that that plus and minus is the mistake. So then I rectified it plus and I changed it to minus. So after that, the five test cases has been passed and I got third place.
Okay, great. What else?
Between that 5 to 10 minutes, it's been like a hell, man.
Okay,
We made all
good.
things perfect, but
Hmm.
there is something error means we can't accept it.
Correct. Okay, great. Mr. Mrunali, would you like to say something? Anita,
Yes, ma'am.
please tell me.
Yeah, in our college, we had a small mini project, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a team members of five, and we have divided the work among themselves. So in our team, we had one who is doing better, and he does the work very much. And there are other three people who don't do the work well.
Mm-hmm.
And a small conflict was raised in our group,
Mm-hmm.
like they are not doing, and we are doing in that way. So what we have done is that we try to think like we need to assign them what the work they need to do and
Mm-hmm.
what they are capable of, and the one who are doing, like I and one person was more capable and doing the much more work. So we
Mm-hmm.
divided the good amount of work among ourselves, and we gave the work they are able to do. So in that way, we tried to minimize the conflict which was arranged in our group of
Mm-hmm.
five members.
Okay.
So we try to analyze what was the conflict, and
Mm-hmm.
we try to solve that conflict.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, yes, you are also absolutely right. Now, let's understand one more thing. The answer you gave, all of you, were good enough. Now, when you talk about the challenging situation you mentioned, but when you try to give the solution, then try to maintain the accuracy in your solutions, like some amount of work, then some time, some months, some people, few people. So this is something we have to bring it into the quantified mode. So when you start answering, you say, I we were five people which were required to give, the task in 2 months. However, I divided the work into two each to understand, to reduce the complexity and the time frame, right? And then they all work together, and within 7 days we could deliver the project, right? So something like that sort. When we become more of quantitative in our approach, that seems to be more authenticated information. For example, if you ask me, ma'am, uh, when will I be able to be a good professional? I would be like, in some days. Now, in some days could be one day, sorry, 2 days, or it could be 2 years. I would be like, see, certainly it takes 2 to 3 months for a person to become a professionally groomed. However, if you are just a beginner, so it might can take 5 months as well, right? Which also can be converted into some 300 to 400 hours. So I'm just giving you this the rough idea, but I wanted to tell you the message here is, whenever you are approaching any person, somebody is asking you, so be very much quantitative in your approach. Don't give some reason, something, some people, no, nothing like that. Getting my point, everyone? Yes, no, maybe. Now, like here, my one of my friends, she wrote, during my project time I got some problem with the project record. I had struggled at the time, but I had handled them with calmly, ma'am. So now the recruiter will said, do you think being calm will always solve the purpose? Don't you have to be on your toes to get the work done? So he would want to ask that how calmness can bring you the work done. So what he is expecting is the course of action that you have performed to get it done, right? So you have to be elaborative that these were the course of action I had taken during that particular time to get this sorted. Now let's discuss one more question, then probably we will call it off for the day, and then we will discuss another 80, 90 questions in the next time. What is your expected salary? Now, this is very important question because we all work for salaries, right? So now what, this could be a very important question. Now here, what do you think could be the possible answers to ask, what are your salary expectations? Yes, they can ask you this question. What is your salary expectation? They can ask you. Then what will you answer? Tell me. Okay, if you're experienced, see, first of all, evaluate yourself. For example, first of all, as a fresher, when you will be having a JD, they will be mentioning out your salary over there, that for this position, we are offering this particular package. So, because you were accepting that particular package, since that's the reason you applied and you are in this recruitment process, right? Then second thing is, if it is not mentioned, then you can always say that as per the, you know, as per the business standards, as per the business standards, right, or as per the company standards, whichever is the best one. So obviously, as a fresher, you cannot expect below 4 to 5 lpa, right, as a BTech graduate. And if you think you are meeting the expectations, you have projects and project summaries, you have been and you have developed few softwares and you have good technical skills, then probably you can negotiate also on the same. Now you have to decide that what is your expected salary. Definitely at the starting you don't have the good experience also, and you are asking for some 12 13 lpa won't work. But then if you decently negotiate with 5 to 6 or something like that, or close to that, is also a good deal for the freshers. If you have 2 years of experience in testing department, so definitely you can first go to the Google and Glassdoors and see what can be the best salary that is provided. Glassdoor is really doing great with that. You can enter the company and see what are the payroll structure out there. So every company who is a big shot will get on Glassdoors, open there, and see what is the package that has been offered to data analyst, to Java developer with zero experience, with 1 year experience, with 2 years of experience. So you will have the rough idea that am I getting the right percentage of the salary or not, or I can negotiate it or not. So then only you will be able to justify your answer when it says that what is your salary expectations, right? You asked okay, HR about that. Then what did you what is the answer that you get? She said that. What did she say? Ashwin, you can unmute yourself and tell us. What did she say? Can you unmute yourself and tell me? Okay. So I hope any doubts so far in this particular session? Anyone? The candidate are asking 8 to 14 lakh 8 to 14 lakh per year. Okay. with 2 years of experience in testing department. Yes, that's what I meant. No? Then you have to decide by going to Glassdoor, see what is the trend that is going in the market for the relevant profiles. You will get it all. Then you can have the rough idea and accordingly you can negotiate, right? Anything else that I can help you with? Any other questions for me for today? Any other questions for today? Yes, no, maybe.
Madam, I have written my resume and sent it to the mail. I didn't get feedback, madam.
Okay, let me check it once again whether it did not reach to the spam mail. I will check it once again because I have not received in the inbox. Your name is Krishna, right? Murali Krishna.
Yes.
I'll check it. All right. Any other doubt? All right. So now let's call it off for the day today. Then let's meet next week. We will have 100 more questions and then I will also create one mock interview session, right? Which website? It's Glassdoor, right? So thank you everyone. Let's meet next week with the same time, right? It will help you a lot. Again, thank you so much everyone. Bye. Take care.